Come on, let me play as someone else.
What would make Martha leave the rest?
I feel like anything and everything could be at play there.
Something has happened to Martha. We need to speak with Otto.
I'd be happier if they let me branch out a little more. Like stretch your arms out for a good yawn. At least to switch things up. I do appreciate the multiple fighting styles. Well, not fighting styles, but the multiple elements you use in order to switch up how you play the game. But, we still could have a little more.
What do we know, Otto?
Some lads from the Imperial garrison in Rosaria started a fight over at Martha's Rest. Blood was spilled, bones were broken. The usual. But somewhere in the middle of it all, Martha vanished without a word to anyone. And that ain't like her, Clive. Something's not right.
You think this was planned?
Of course it bloody was. Ever since Eastpool, the Empire's been tightening its grip around the Duchy's balls. They've strung up everyone who's ever set eyes on a runaway, claiming they're traitors to the Holy Throne, conspiring to restore the House of Rosfield to power. But now it sounds like the bastards have turned their attentions to the pallbearers meek enough to stay put. Naturally, old Martha could see the way the wind was blowing, complained that it was getting harder and harder to take bearers in.
And now she's missing. If she's fallen into the hands of the Empire, we could be next.
Couple of curse breakers are already on their way to the inn. They should help speed up the search. But if this is as bad as I think it is, you might end up having to save their asses and all.
Don't worry, Otto. I'll make sure everyone gets home safe.
Looks like I'm gonna have to have a body bag for everyone. For him, me, and the guy I know next, you know, down the street and all that. I'm not really trying to go there, just trying to see. Okay, yeah, so the side missions disappear. Womp womp. Maybe they'll come back at some point. I hope. A lot of side quests really don't, not many side quests are heavy on the, what's it called?
Martha is a
Time.
survivor. We'll find her.
Like the timetable of the game. Not many of them are, you know, so, what's it called? I won't say time exclusive, but time relevant. Like the guy whose, freezing crystal fell down and got eaten by a crab. And that could have, something like that can appear at any point in the game. It's not really time. It doesn't really matter for it to be time exclusive.
Finish with that log, Saxid.
Damn blighted bilge.
Ew.
Is everything all right?
Aside from the holes in my hull, everything's roses.
The lake water doesn't agree with it, then?
That's one way of putting it. And unless you got some grand scheme to suck the black from the lake like we do in the atrium, that slurry will keep eating away at the timber like young Tech does our lemon tarts.
What's with them and lemon tarts?
A coat of pitch might stave off the rock for a moon or so, assuming we had any pitch, which we don't. Not any bloody more. Doubt the old tub's got more than a dozen runs left in him.
I'll take care of it, I guess.
Of course, Obolus. Your skiff is our only means of reaching the mainland. Without it, we'd be lost.
Well, I'm glad someone round here sees it that way. To make pitch, you need pitch trees. But in case you haven't noticed, live trees are one of the 1,000 things sorely lacking in the Deadlands. Now, I'm not so unkind as to ask you to fell a faraway forest and lug the logs back here to the mere, which is why we'll be needing a suitable alternative. And it just so happens I once heard the thorny pitchers of Curltail Falls cover themselves in a sticky wax to trap birds and beetles and whatnot. Might be enough to tide me over.
Sounds easier than felling a faraway forest. That's for certain.
Well, I'll do that later. Just wanted to at least start it up for now. I know there's been a bit too much dialogue in this one. And there's another one. Or is this... Yeah, that's the forest he was referring to. Luckily, it's within the same area, but... Again, did not really have time for it at this point.
What happened here?
Come on. We need to find the others.
I'm sorry, Sid. We were too late. The Imperials have already left.
Best off staying where we are for now, I reckon. The boys from the garrison might still be nearby.
Let's get you to Physica, shall we?
I'm sorry. I think I twisted something.
From what it looks like, I'm gonna need like 12 body bags for all this nonsense. Can I turn that off? Or is it just gonna keep popping up? There we go. And it still pops up. Great.
Sid? What said you'd be coming?
I trust you don't mind. Also thought you might need some help. And it appears he was right.
You, could say that, yes. They're saying the Imperials ascended like a storm. No one was spared their fury. Martha tried to step in and calm things down, but all our efforts got her were a pair of iron shackles and a hard march.
Any idea where?
Judging by their tracks, they headed towards Sorrowwise Bay.
To the Abbey sheltering Martha's bearers.
The bastards. Jill and I will go after them. You take care of the people here.
We will. But, before you go, one of the locals heard something. He said the soldiers were talking about a culling. I don't know how big this is, but it doesn't sound good. Be careful out there, Sid.
You do the same.
What it sounds like is people need to evacuate this town immediately before the Imperials come back and wipe it off the face of the map. And
Carl is right. That was no tavern brawl. It was a message.
But a culling. Imperials. Bearers are the property of the Empire. The garrison wouldn't have the authority to act alone. The orders would have had to have come from higher up.
Yeah, if I had to guess, it's your mom doing bullshit again. Seriously, how can I make that stop appearing? It's gonna get my nerves. I turn it off and it still pops up. Why? At least I won't be there the entire time. It just kind of takes up part of the screen, which is annoying. I don't have much screen to give, so... And I went the wrong way again. How do I keep doing that? Stupid thing keeps throwing me off.
Best off staying where we are for now, I reckon.
Any high potions I could buy?
Anything catch your eye?
Yeah, I'm looking for potions. No, I don't need any.
Out there, eh? Oi, look sharp!
I do like how there is still room to grow with his icon abilities. I have a feeling that the other icon abilities he might get from the other dominants may not be exactly offensive. Well, not offensive, but not offensive, but their effect will be different from the main ones I've gotten so far, at least. 19. They're not even on my radar.
Up ahead. Martha, are you hurt?
Don't worry about me. It's them at the Abbey who need you. You have to do something.
Tell us what happened.
What happened? The damn Black Shields, that's what happened.
The Black Shields?
The bastards caught wind. The Abbot and I were helping bearers. They were gonna hang us both. When the sick rose from their beds, poor souls turned on the Imperials. Distracted them long enough for me to get away.
Then they may still be alive. Martha, do you think you can make it back to the inn? Cole is there with the other curse breakers.
I think so. Thank you, Clive.
Black Shields. Is this some sort of twisted joke?
Oh.
There has only ever been one Order of Shields in Rosaria, and they fought to defend all her citizens.
Seems a step too far, even for the Empire.
It took me longer than it probably should have to. It took the quotations around shields in order for me to realize what they meant by that. But yeah, it most definitely his mother. What is her deal? Like seriously, she just out of nowhere does all this nonsense. And we've got bodies.
Are we too late?
There might still be someone inside.
If it's a black shield, they're gonna die. That's a guarantee.
No.
Damn it.
I thought you lot were all spent.
Murderers. They drove the bearers to this.
Wait. These two aren't turned.
That bitch of an innkeeper must have sent them. Colluding with the enemies of the Empire is a serious offense.
And for their crimes shall they be punished. Such is the law. To dwell in darkness that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these our swords we swear.
How dare you make those words? Have you no honor?
Clive.
This won't take long.
And back to this. I mean, tearing him to pieces. Honestly, I don't know what they expect. When you give me 6 icon abilities, I'm just gonna spam all of them.
Is that all of them?
I think so.
That was weirdly. That was weird. Was there supposed to be more to that? Did I mess it up by accident?
I didn't see the Abbot. He may still be alive.
He may be the one that sold them out, too.
The Abbot.
The bearers died protecting him, calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Clive, he's breathing.
We're friends of Martha. We're here to help.
Are the Imperials dead?
They are. Every last one.
If only that were true. The Black Shields will return. The Cullings will continue. Rosaria will never be saved unless we save her. Tell Martha to beg Sid's aid and tell her this wasn't her fault.
I shall.
Sid! Where are you? Sid!
In here! We found a survivor!
Clive. He's gone.
We've laid the abbot to rest, but the bearers, they didn't need to die like this.
No, they didn't. But it was their choice. They knew the fate that awaited them and chose to meet it on their terms, fighting for those who fought for them.
Martha said they rose from their beds, threw themselves at the Imperials so she and the abbot could escape.
I've gathered the bearers' remains. We should consign them to the tide.
There's a drawbridge not far from here. Radix Jump. The currents there are swift. If the abbot was still with us, he'd have taken the dust there himself and performed the casting. I'll get someone to...
I'll do it.
Of course. Cole and I will remain here and see to the Imperials.
Hopefully means slaughtering them. Well, let's go spread their ashes. And this is depressing as depressing can get, so... Well, at least we're on brand. Good. When you're high enough level, enemies should not go out of their way to try and attack you. Save my time, save your time. You know, it works out that way better. Unless you want to scale the game, which not all games want to do. 15 did it, but they did it right at the last second of the game, and when they did it, the enemies went so much higher level than you, it was ridiculous. Ew. What? We've got bounties now? That's awesome. Okay, let's see.
I think it's spotted us, Torgal. What am I saying? Of course it has. It's a floating eyeball.
Really? I thought you were better than low-hanging jokes like that. Uh-oh. Dodge, dodge. Let's just throw this at it. Come on, we can give more than that. Yeah, that sucked. Not as much as that's gonna suck for him. Come on. Take him down to his weak stage. Let's get all of them on him. Wrong move. Uh-oh. I realized it too late. Come on. There we go. And just start wailing on him. Ooh, nice finisher. Also, what's with the green stuff? What does that even do?
You didn't see that coming.
I did not. Throw up on the side. Let's, you know, continue with the burial, right? Oh god, I just realized. If that eyeball gave me so much trouble, what about a behemoth? That's gotta be brutal.
So shall the waters cleanse thee of thy burden, and bear it out to sea.
And now they are truly free.
I hope so. What of the Imperials?
A pyre was made. It's more than they deserve. We should go back. Cole is worried about Martha.
All right.
Here's hoping we don't just fast travel directly into nonsense.
We're best off staying where we are for now, I reckon.
No one survived then?
I'm sorry. Before he passed, one of them bade me tell you not to blame yourself.
Doesn't mean I won't. Doesn't mean their blood's not on my hands. Cole said you cast their remains. That was good of you. But it should have been me. This was all my fault.
How? You couldn't have known.
But I did. And I turned a deaf ear to the warnings like the fool I am. The rumors started moons ago. of black-clad devils descending on villagers in the dead of night to slit the throats of sleeping bearers. But I assumed it was all just nonsense concocted by the Empire. Nothing but a ghost story meant to make folk think twice about lending a hand to a fugitive bearer.
And in ordinary times, you would have been right. What these Black Shields are doing is unthinkable. Which begs the question, why do it at all? My mother obviously has a hand in this. I cannot make sense of her actions.
And picking what goes on in that woman's head is a job for someone with more time on their hands. Right now, I need swords and men to wield them, preferably big ones. If those Imperials think they can come in here again and threaten my people, they're in for a rude awakening. Oh, before I forget, a Stolas from Otto landed just before you arrived. He asked me to tell you that Gav has returned.
Then we must as well. Will you be all right here, Martha?
We can stay longer if you wish.
No need. I'll be ready should the Imperials come calling. Though I wouldn't turn my nose up if you were to lend me a pair of them strapping young curse breakers.
Sounds like we got a deal at the very least. Seriously, what's about the green tokens? What do they do? Is it another upgrade thing? Is it buying stuff? Is it just cashing in from the bounties? Is it like from Dragon's Quest, the tokens you turn in order to get rewards? Every so often the reward happens to actually be worth it. Let me slay these things and then we can be off to the place for the things. What in the world is this? White-winged wonder. What?
We're not to move.
Oi! You there! You handy with that sword of yours? Of course you are. Bet you're a bloody marvel with the thing. Now, question is, are you willing to use it or not? 'Cause a flock of noble chocobos are in need of help.
Chocobos?
You heard me right. Wild birds? Hmm? The big ones? And not just any chocobos at that. Whiteheart and her flock are the bravest birds you ever did see. They protect travellers round these parts from bandits and the like.
Chocobos? Fighting bandits?
It's true. Why, they saved me from a gang of footpads only yesterday. Nasty lot they were too. And now, they're back, looking to settle the score. Oh, go on then. Don't just stand there. Go and help them.
All right.
There's a good lad.
Where can I find these chocobos?
I saw him cut across the way over yonder. The rotten scoundrels were driving the poor things towards the old dock. It's a dead end, that is. You save Whiteheart and her flock, you hear me? There ain't a pluckier bird in all the world. She's a hero to us locals. And don't worry, you'll know her when you see her right enough.
I'm sure I will.
And good luck to you. And give those no-good bastards a hiding from me.
So I guess this is how you get a chocobo. Let's see at this point. So I will be ending it here. Hopefully someone has made it to the. Finally, someone has made it to the end. I'd love that. But if no one has, then so be it. If you wouldn't mind liking, commenting, you know what to do. Aside from that, follow me on Twitch if you want. And I guess that's everything. See ya.